Good morning, day 86, camper pod build. Back at it again. I've got some stapling to do. Going to be doing the wall. Going to be doing the roof edge line as well. Pop in another wire here. I got to splice into a bit in here. And some other stuff that I'm not quite sure. But I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm going along. I'm going to move into the extra lighting here. My wife found some other lights that I'll show you later. And we're going to run two of them, one here and one in that direction. This particular light is connected to the two bedroom lights, but you want an additional light connected to the kitchen light that's right here, right there. And we're not quite sure what we're going to do with that one. May cap that off, may use it for something else. So anyway, I had to get up inside here. This particular wire right here is the feed for the kitchen lights. This one is for the bedroom. So this one here, I have to take out of this wrap, put another connector on it, and gotta drill a hole somewhere around right here. I have it marked. And fish something across there to pull it through. Not a lot of room, but I can make it work. And I managed to drill a hole there. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I can actually, let's try taking my headlight, shining it up through that hole. Like the hole is, you can see that light there, that's where it needs to come down through. So I can get it in through that hole and over there quite easy and splice it into that wire. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I did manage to get this down a little tiny bit, and I discovered that my wires that I have up there tentatively for my fan, they were actually in between the joist right there and the aluminum, so they're keeping it from going to the ceiling. And yes, unfortunately this light will go into the fan hole. So if we do need to put a fan in, we might end up losing that light. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm having a little difficulty getting the wire from here over to there, so I'm resorting to the old string trick. What I've got done is I got my vacuum cleaner hooked up and poked in here, and I've got my green string, lots of loose on it, so I'm just going to poke it up in a hole there, and hopefully it'll be sucked in by the vacuum cleaner. Let me turn it on. Okay, that worked. You see it getting pulled out of my hand. So the vacuum cleaner, I did have to put quite a bit up there for the vacuum cleaner to grab hold of it. And when I pull that out, should be a pile of string. I drilled a hole in the one of the roof trusses to run that wire through. That piece of green twine didn't go through that hole. So I'm going to do the same thing with the vacuum cleaner. I just threaded through the hole, grabbed it, and pulled it through. So now I'm just going to put some tape on this, tape the twine onto that, and suck it down through this hole with the vacuum cleaner. It worked! So hopefully this should work its way through. I see that's the end of it right there. There we go. Before I tuck these wires back up inside, I got these extra long just in case I ever have to move this light here. I got those same clamps before, and they've been tested and tugged on, and I've made sure that they're right. They're not going to fall apart. Pretty sure on that. Just saying. Anyway, I've got the power hooked back up, and I've got my light hooked up to that wire. So this is the kitchen switch right here. Click on the kitchen switch, and that light comes on. And my wife wants another small cabinet to go up here, a lot smaller than that. basically just to the edge of the green tape, to the right hand side of the green tape, and 1 inch above the window, which is going to be about, I think it's like 18.5 inches wide by 11.5 inches high. So not a huge cabinet, but one nevertheless. So now I just got to go try to find some wood. Grabbed a couple of scrap pieces of 2x4, as well as a piece of 2x2 and a piece of decking board that I had, and I ripped them all down to 1.5 by 3/4 boards in approximately around the right length in order to make the cabinet. And I just finished them sanding them down so they're not hitchy. So next is to cut them to dimensions and put it together to make the cabinet. Anybody who's into woodworking recognizes those holes. Getting ready to assemble the pieces now for the cabinet. My lovely Kreg jig, the best thing my wife ever bought me for woodworking. I use it a lot whenever I'm doing anything, and I usually do get the Kreg Pocket hole screws, and also got a new tool from Kreg that I'm going to be assembling probably today for cutting these big sheets of foam light, because I don't have a track saw. They're like super duper expensive. So I got a decent substitute. And a few holes and screws later, we have an upper cabinet. I have this perfectly square cabinet put up into a non-perfectly square corner. I'm not super worried about that, because when we face that, I'll just scribe whatever we're doing the front of the cabinet with to fit in there. The same thing with up here. That's the beauty with just building. Sometimes things just go out of square, out of skew, what have you. It's going to look nice up there once we finish it. Well, that's a wrap for day 86 of the camper pod build. Finished off some stapling. Renamed that. Stuck in an extra wire. Built that cabinet and some other stuff that I can't remember. So next day, what we'll be doing most likely, we'll be cutting this foam light, getting ready to install that into the cabin. And to help with that, I got that big thing right there. I'll tell you what that is in the next video. No, I'll tell you now. It's a Kreg straight edge extra large. It can cut up to 8 foot of sheet goods. It's a straight edge. So that'll allow me to use my circular saw and get a nice straight edge so that I can chunk it down into smaller pieces so I can rip it on the table saw. Anyway, that's it, folks. That's a wrap. Day 86 camper pod build. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.